Shout out to Mood for sponsoring today's video. Do you know what felons love? It's legal loopholes. So Mood is an online dispensary that ships Delta 8 and Delta 9 products anywhere in the US. Well, how is that legal? Because federally, nay. The feds were like, you know what, we'll let them have CBD and hemp because they can't get high off of it. So what some brilliant people did is they reverse engineered it and boom. It also does not contain more than 0.03 of THC, and they give you a little card that says you can't detain this, bitch. I don't know why, but I love that they put this in the packaging. Like, they literally lay out like the federal laws for it, and I'm all about it. They have everything. My favorite is pre-rolls because I am hella lazy. So they have pre-rolls, they have edibles, they have hash, they have wax, they have all kinds of stuff, gummies and Rice Krispie treats and everything that you could ever want. One of you guys actually suggested that I try Delta 8 in the comment section, and I'm so glad that you did because it's like diet weed, you know what I mean? It's not as strong, it's not as intense as Delta 9, so I love it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love both Delta 8 and Delta 9, but anytime I'm taking an edible, I personally have to have it mixed with some CBD, so it's a little more calming because there's nothing like taking too much, then your whole body is vibrating, so read the label. Mood was kind enough to give us a couple of discount codes, so if you go to hellomood.co and you use code JKGummy, you get a free pack of Delta 9 gummies. So you need those. Or you can use code JK20 for 20% off the whole website. So I will leave all of that linked in the description box down below. All right, back to the video. What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna be talking about body brokers and why they are so unethical. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess. I'm a person in long-term recovery who has in fact been to prison and rehab and halfway houses and homeless shelters and all kinds of stuff. If you wanna follow me on any other social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, that's $2. It's only ever gonna be $2. All of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel and my Facebook page. We have a lot to cover, so let's just jump right into this. Okay, so if you guys hear like creaks and like weird things, traffic, birds, this room isn't soundproof. So I know most of you like don't care about that. I just thought I should mention it, you know? Okay, so what is a body broker? A body broker is someone that gets paid per bodies that they get into treatment. The treatment centers will reach out to someone, maybe it's someone that has completed a program in a treatment center, maybe it's a content creator, maybe it's a friend or a family member of somebody that already works in the treatment center, and what they do is they get paid by the insurance company. They get kickbacks. There's a really good movie about this called Body Brokers, and that is based on John Schwab's real life experiences, and anything in the movie that he didn't experience, it was based on other people's personal experiences. So I'm going to be referencing that quite a bit because it hits you with all of the facts. So in 2008, Obama signed the Affordable Care Act. So in that, he made sure that every doctor had to provide resources for substance use disorder. Now, what ended up happening when that got signed is all of these treatment centers started to flood in, especially in Southern California. And because the treatment industry isn't like heavily regulated by the federal government, there's a lot of wiggle room in certain things. And when it comes to billing and insurance and treatment, they are raking it in. So right after the Affordable Care Act was signed, 2,000 sober living houses were built, 100 inpatient facilities, and 200 detox facilities, and that was just in Southern California alone. Like it says in the movie, that is about 35,000 beds that have to be filled every single month, or $500,000 a year, which means they're able to bill insurance $12 billion annually. Like how though? If you've ever been to a hospital in America, then you know they charge outlandish prices for like Tylenol. So make sure you always get a detailed invoice if you go to the hospital, because $200 for Tylenol? Really? So the breakdown of how they're able to bill so much money is covered in like the opening scene of Body Brokers.
Based on a 90-day program, detox, residential, intensive outpatient, and UAs. That's $300,000 per person per 90 days. And somewhere like New West has 60 beds. That's 18 million billed every quarter. And wait for it, 72 million billed a year. You fucking heard me. 72 million.
There are 3 phases of treatment: detox, inpatient, and outpatient. On average, it's like 90 days if you do the entire process. Well, detox is really expensive. It's like $4,000 for like 7 to 10 days. After detox, you go to residential for however long. Maybe it's 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, and that's $2,000 a day. What? Then you go to outpatient, that's $2,500 a day. So without insurance, Who the hell could afford that, right? That's insane. But everything that is given to the person that is in treatment is billed back to the insurance company, right? So they're making tons of money. Each person that goes to a treatment center can take up to 5 drug tests per week. Well, they bill back the insurance companies $2,000 per drug test per person. Excuse me, what? Is every facility that expensive? No. Is everyone going to stay 90 days? No. But still, they're able to bill a ton of money for people to go to treatment. And now you might be thinking, wait, hold on, Jess, don't we want people to go to treatment? We do. However, it is egregious to charge $2,000 for a drug test. It's insane that they're able to bill $300,000 for 90 days for one person. Because the federal government doesn't restrict a lot of things, there's a lot of wiggle room when it comes to treatment. And then a lot of people fly under the radar and they're just raking in money. They're skimming off the top, right? None of this screams, we want to help people get better. We want to help people get sober. We want to help people get long-term recovery. We want to save lives. None of that screams that to me. It just screams we're making a killing off people with a disease. Now, some people sign up to be body brokers without really understanding the ethical issue or how much is being billed or all of that. Now, I don't think that everyone that signs up to do this goes in with bad intentions, ha ha ha, I'm gonna make a ton of money off you because you're sick. No, I think a lot of people sign up to do this because they got sober and they want to help other people get sober. So I don't think it comes from a bad place. I think the system is evil and the system is making tons of money, and the system allows companies to charge $2,000 for a drug test or $800 for an EpiPen. Do y'all remember that shit? I mean, it's just crazy. When we put profits above people suffer. So the really hard part in all of this is treatment centers have a less than 10% success rate. And the reason for that, in my personal opinion, not based on a statistic or anything else, just my opinion, is profits above people. And a lot of these facilities, they want lifers. They want lifelong people that are going to come in for 90 days. They can bill $300,000 and boom, that is a healthy paycheck. And then those lifers are going to bring other people in, and it's a cycle. The success rate is really low when it comes to the disease of addiction because people are suffering, because of pain, because of a system that is evil and puts profits above people. And it actually gets much worse than just getting paid a kickback for putting someone into treatment, because you can get more money if you take someone from a facility. Say they don't like it, maybe they have drama there, or it's just in a bad area, or they don't like it. For whatever reason, they don't want to be in that facility, but they still want to work on their recovery. And very little is told to the person that wants to go to treatment. I don't know if I mentioned that. Usually if someone is in active addiction, they don't even care, right? I wouldn't care if someone was making money to get me into treatment because I was desperate for the help. So usually that's not a conversation that is had with them. But let's say they go to treatment. They don't like it. They want to go to a different facility, but maybe they have a little bit of time in recovery. Maybe they have a few weeks sober, a month sober, maybe 2. They call their body broker and they're like, hey man, look, this is not the spot for me. People are getting high around me, whatever the situation is. And that body broker is going to say, knowing full well that this person has some sober time, they're going to say, per policy, we can't transfer you or I can't get you into a different facility unless you fail a drug test. So now this person that has some sober time has to go out, has to use, has to get high just to get out of that facility to go to a different facility. And then the body broker gets more money. Well, as you can imagine, people have died from that because now that person is in recovery. Now they don't have a tolerance for their DOC. Now they're from 0 to 100. People have overdosed and people have died. Do I think there's anything wrong with helping people find recovery and working with them every day and encouraging them and helping them find treatment? Do I think there's anything wrong with doing that and also getting a paycheck for that? Because that is not easy. That is really hard. Mentally, it's a lot, we see a lot of people overdose or relapse, and it's really hard. It's really hard. So no, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that job and getting a paycheck for it. We all have bills to pay, right? However, I do think there is something wrong with body brokering even being a thing. I don't think it's ethical. I don't think that it's right. And I think it's just feeding into the system that puts profits above people. I'm going to be honest. When I was in the depths of my addiction, I thought that the only way out was to unalive myself. And if someone came to me and they were like, Jess, I can help you get insurance right now. I can help you get into treatment. If someone said that to me, I wouldn't have given 2 shits if they were getting a paycheck off of that and they were getting kickbacks for me. I wouldn't have cared. It wouldn't have even crossed my mind. They could have told me that and I still would have been like, okay, make your money, but please help me. And that's the problem. To go to treatment, it should not cost $300,000 for 90 days. None of this should be this expensive. There is no reason in the world why you should ever give your insurance information or your identity to a person that you saw online. Some of you guys might be thinking like, hold on, Jess, don't you work with Groups Recover Together? You work with a treatment center, you get a check. So what is the difference? This is not the same exact thing. So no, it is not. Hey, so don't mind me. I thought I would pop in here because I realized while I'm editing this video that I didn't explain what I do very well. So imagine I have a TV station and companies call me because they pay for advertisement. That is literally all I do for groups. I advertise for them. It's like a commercial on TV or the radio. I grew up in a classic rock radio station. We call commercials spots. So groups pays me for spots or commercials. And I also wanted to include like an example of this because there's so many different ways to body broker. And some of them can be like really hard to catch. Some of them are really obviously shady and just not okay. So someone sent me a screenshot of someone's YouTube channel and this is their description box. Immediately I'm like, wait, what? Because one, that definitely goes against YouTube community guidelines. So I don't know how it's even allowed. Maybe YouTube hasn't caught it yet. I have no idea. But when I clicked on the site, this is what popped up. Suboxone isn't even spelled correctly and there's typos all over it and it's really shady. Now I believe that there should be access to Suboxone for anyone that needs it for as long as you need it, you know, like heart medicine. Do I think that someone that makes YouTube videos should be getting kickbacks for Suboxone? Like that doesn't even seem legal to me, but you know, I just wanted to make you guys aware of all of the different ways that not just big companies, rehabs and whatever insurance is making money off of it, but it's like the little guys too. And there is nothing wrong with getting a paycheck. I will never hate on you for your hustle, but when it comes to addiction, it's sensitive. And it just rubs me the wrong way. But again, and I know I've said this a few times, if I was at that spot, you know, at my most vulnerable, I would immediately be like, oh, you can get me a discount. I can barely afford to go. You know, I tried to do the methadone clinic. God, this was a long time ago. So I'm not exactly sure the ins and outs of it anymore. But I was late on day 2 and I wasn't allowed to get methadone. And I gave up after 2 days. You know, so it's hard. That program is hard. I'm pretty sure it's even more difficult now with all the restrictions that they put on it. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't have that medicine. I just don't like the system. I think that we should be able to have universal health care. I think we're really far behind when it comes to that. And I know everyone's like, but my taxes. We pay into the system already. If you're from a country with universal health care, tell me how that works, please, because I'm interested and I would like to know. I wanted to say, I've had a million meetings over the years online with companies, rehabs that wanted to work with me. And if it was an abstinent-based program, 12-step and abstinent-based program, I always said no. I said, no, thank you. Because it's not one size fits all. And your recovery can change over time. I was abstinent-based for 7 years, and I wasn't okay. So then I started using cannabis. Those couple of times a month where I'm at my lowest, and I am having, just unalive thoughts and stuff like that. My insomnia is really bad. I rely on cannabis, and without that, man, I don't know. I don't know how it would feel, and it bothers me that, the recovery community can be, not that it always is, it can be really toxic. And I see that all the time online where, people are telling me I'm not sober, telling me I'm high, telling me I relapsed, or telling me that they're disappointed in me, or I've lied or betrayed you guys in some way because my recovery changed after 7 years of abstinence, My value and my worth as a person is not determined on the number of days I have without a substance going into my body. Right? And I think we put a lot of pressure on people when it comes to things like that. And I think we don't understand addiction holistically, that it's not just a 30, 60-day program. It's not just like white knuckle it till you die. There's a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of contributing factors to it. Mental health, environment, just physical health. There's a lot of things, because I think oftentimes people are like, just take away the drugs. Take away the drugs. 30, 60 days, you're going to be, more clear, which yes. But, when you get sober, it's not all fucking sunshine and rainbows. It's hard as hell. Your first year is hard. Year 2, still hard, easier. And then you get used to not having to rely on a substance. but most of us have underlying mental health issues. You know, I wasn't even diagnosed with ADHD until I was 32, right? Yeah, 32. I'm about to be 34, so I wasn't diagnosed until I was 32. Then they kind of played lab rat with me because I have a dual diagnosis, so I was put on a couple of different things before we could get it right. I'm rambling to say this: you never know what someone's going through, and you know, even again, I said a couple of different times, I don't think the body broker is going into that with bad intentions. I think they want to help people. They see an opportunity to help people, and they also see an opportunity to pay their bills. Like, the grocery bill is crazy. The grocery bill right now, like, listen. So I'm not judging anyone. We're all humans. We're all doing the best that we can. I really just want to make you guys aware of all of the different ways that, you know, people take advantage, and that sucks. So, but yeah, I really wanted to explain that I just advertise for groups. And if they can't help you, they'll find someone that can. If you don't have insurance, but you can pay cash, it's affordable. It's one of the lowest I've ever seen. If you can afford that, they'll try to get you a sponsorship. If you don't have clothes, they'll try to get you clothes. And it's like not just 60 days, they're in that with you. This is a lifelong process. And this is no offense to any other treatment center, but I wouldn't in this moment in time, because I don't know who you are, I'm sure you're great. I wouldn't in this moment in time trust any other company, organization, facility to advertise on my channel for treatment options. It took me years to find them, and I was so hesitant and reluctant to even join, you know, a meeting, a Zoom call with them. And I'm so glad that I did. I should probably answer that. I mean, it can wait, but I'm really glad that I talked to them, and I think they're just amazing. And again, in 2 years that I've been working with them, I've never seen a bad comment. All right, back to the video. When you're a salary employee or you're a long-term sponsored content creator, which would be me, I don't ever take anyone's insurance card. You can't call me directly. Groups will take you without insurance. They can get sponsors for you. If they can't help you, they'll find someone else that will. It is not just kickbacks. It's not just body brokering, working with insurance, and getting paid for that. The reason why I'm making this video is just for awareness, just so you guys know. I'm not saying don't reach out to someone that you know is a body broker. If you need help and you feel comfortable with that person, reach out to them. I'm not saying don't. I just want to make this video so you guys know what to look for, so you can see the signs and you can, you know, make up your own mind about it. The system is so evil, and the system has profited off of the suffering for a very long time. And that's across the board. Prison, foster care, treatment centers, you name it. This country has profited off people that are struggling for a really long time. So what are the red flags? Like, how do you spot someone that is a body broker? Well, pretty quickly, if you're talking to somebody, they'll ask you right away, what's your insurance information? Do you have insurance? No, let's get you some insurance. Maybe they'll help you try to set that up. So that's like number one. That's like tell number one, right? But if you see a content creator or someone that's really famous, really well known, and they're like constantly like, call me, text me, call me, that's usually a red flag. Now, some people might not even care. They might see a sponsored person or someone that is a treatment employee the same as someone that body brokers. You know, y'all are getting paid in the treatment industry. Are they not the same? It is so different because a lot of times celebrities or well-known content creators, they are telling people to go to these facilities that they've never even went to. They've never vetted, they've never gone there themselves. Now, let's say a facility reaches out to a content creator and they live in like Texas. Well, the facility is in California and this person's never even been to California. They've never seen the facility, they've never toured it, they don't even know what it looks like, but it sounds good. And again, I'm not saying the content creator has bad intentions. They're like, well, I could use some extra money. I do know people that need help. It's a win-win. So what ends up happening is people get lost in that. So they're trusting that person that says, hey, go over here, go to this treatment center, go to the treatment center I work with. It's great. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna get healthy. I got you. Well, they get money to send people to places that they've never even seen. And that is where people get hurt. And then they call the body broker and they're like, hey man, this is not it. They relapse, they go to a different place. That's what makes it dangerous. You should just be aware. We should just have this conversation. I don't blame the body broker. I blame the system. And I think the more we talk about it, the more awareness we bring to it, maybe we can start making some very serious changes, because the treatment industry has a 10% success rate. The prison population, and oftentimes they collide, right? The prison system has an almost 70% recidivism rate. People are just going back to treatment, or they're passing away. People are going back to prison over and over again, and no one is actually getting the help that they need. So I think we need to have these conversations so that we can figure out how to solve them. Do I think it'll ever come in my lifetime? Probably not. Because capitalism. Because making a shit ton of money is the American way, no matter the cost. Now, I usually don't want the government being like crazy and constricting everything, but I do think that we need to make some very serious changes when it comes to healthcare and when it comes to treatment, because it needs to be a lot more available. Safe injection sites, same thing. Narcan, test strips. Did you guys know that test strips are illegal in like a lot of freaking states? They're categorized as paraphernalia. Test strips, to make sure that whatever you're using doesn't have fentanyl in it. Did you also know that no one has died at a safe injection site? People die at Chuck E. Cheese, bro. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you. And I will see you all in my next one.